I thought this was really, really, really powerful. I loved the use of breath and the audio throughout it, but the images were so, so, so intense. And there was just such a wide variety of who you were seeing. So I feel like anyone that watched this could find somebody or something to really, really relate to and really, really have like a connection with, which makes it that much more impactful. And then having like the plastic, and it was different forms and different types and different shapes, and like I said, I just thought it was really, really, really impactful and really, really powerful, and such a big statement without needing words, without needing anything else. Just all you had to have was what you were seeing and what you were hearing, and it got the message fully across. So that was really, really impressive.
BREARTH, I think is the right pronunciation, is a great visual, great short, just under 2 minutes, but still so powerful. These fantastic visuals, and this concept of these people wrapped in plastic trying to breathe. This is the kind of breath you feel, like if somebody's being murdered with plastic, like if you watch like action movies or horror movies, when sometimes the victim has been strangled with a plastic bag or whatever. This is the kind of gasping for air until the air is not there anymore. But in this case, it's not an assassin trying to kill somebody, it's ourselves killing ourselves, it's humans killing humanity, and that's because of plastic. This is actually the same feeling that fish probably have in the sea, because that's how they die. They end up in some kind of plastic bag or anything, and they just can't breathe anymore until they die. So, and that's what could happen to humans if we don't stop producing plastic, if we don't stop polluting. So I think overall it was a very well done short but effective, with stunning colors and visuals and direction, and of course cinematography. So overall, very well done. Congratulations.
All right, I just finished watching Birth, a combination of, I believe it's a combination of breath and earth. This was a really interesting piece. I thought it had a really strong symbolic message. Almost every image you see is incredibly striking, given the construct with plastic around people's necks or on their faces, just a variety of people, the diversity of people. I thought it really created a very powerful image and thematic idea about humans' relationship with the nature and earth, and sort of how dire the situation with climate has really become. And I think this piece really worked well to sort of match the human element and sort of the existential elements of everybody's going to be on Earth for only a certain amount of time, and the Earth is going to be here much longer than that, and how long it's been here before we've arrived, and sort of having a twist on that idea of how it's been completely usurped by mass consumption, plastic in particular. I think the ending quote was a play on a quote about coming from dust and returning to dust, and I think this implication was it was returning back to plastic, so showing how human society has sort of been consumed by mass production and a very poor relationship with nature that sort of has really changed their relationship with the natural world. And I thought that the piece really worked symbolically in sort of trying to highlight the dire implications of that problem, and sort of who suffers and how many people end up suffering given this construct on Earth currently. So I thought it was a very powerful piece, very inspirational piece, and done very stylishly, which allowed it to be impactful in the way that I think it intended to be. So I ended up enjoying it for those reasons.
This film was so incredibly beautiful, and not to be too on the nose, but breathtaking. And it made me emotional to watch. I also thought it was absolutely incredible that all of the faces that we saw were AI generated. Just seeing how far technology has come is awe-inspiring and also a little bit terrifying. But oh my gosh, this was just so detailed in the design, and it just hit so hard. It packed a punch, and it was so short. But it really, like, right from the beginning, even before we saw anybody's faces, I was like, this is emotional. And having that breath in the background. Just really helped to paint a full picture. So incredible, incredible job with this. This was just fantastic.
This was really powerful. And it told a complete story, too. I love how the filmmakers chose black and white. And the music that they chose for this was just absolutely perfect. It flowed with the piece so nicely in the way that, it changed and it built, and it was just, they did a great job. Editing, everything, the style of it was just beautiful to watch and very, very inspiring. So yeah, great job.
BREARTH is a really good it's a good animation in showing you perspective, especially in that mindset of, well, how would you like it if this were happening to a close loved one or someone that you care about? Um, it's a collection of images of individuals ranging from as young as infants all the way to as old as the elderly, basically being suffocated with plastic bags, which sounds very heinous and cruel until you realize that's what we've been doing to wildlife, what we've been doing to sea creatures, and we haven't batted an eye when it happens to them. But if we were to do the same thing to those we care about, or in this sense, people, now it has a different tune to it. Uh, I feel like this does a very good job of showcasing that hypocrisy of, because we're not attached to the things that we're harming, there's a sense of apathy to it. However, if it were happening to something or someone we cared about, of course we would be up in arms. And I think that's very important, showing that hypocrisy of where your apathy lies versus when you take action.
For the film BREARTH, well, this starts out with an image of plastics and garbage just laying on the ground. And then startling life forms like microscopic sea life and infants and people are then flashed on the screen, enveloped in plastic. There's sound effects and music that accompany these images, and they're in sync. And the arresting images become more intense as it starts out with gentle, sweet expressions on the faces, through to concerned and pensive looking, to scared and horrified. The message in the end, we know, is we've got to stop our fixation with the uses of plastics. I think we're making starts, but we need to move in strides.
This was incredibly beautiful. They really showed that you can see pain and all the emotion that somebody's going through just in their eyes. The fact that it was done in black and white, I think, makes it even more powerful, because it's forcing you to focus on this one aspect, which is plastic around human beings, around objects at first, and then human beings, from infancy till death, and to show what plastic can do. It's very powerful and impactful for such a short film. Because that's what I was noticing most, is the eyes on the people. You could see the pain in them. You could see the anger. The eyes truly are the windows to the soul, and even though this was done with artificial intelligence, you could still see it, which makes it very moving and powerful and beautiful. The message comes across clean and clear about the dangers that plastic is doing, and that we need to be more careful. We need to find other things to do. And the fact that it was done using first objects and then going quickly into human beings, it shows exactly the impact it can have, just through the facial features and the close-ups on how the plastic is on the skin and what it's doing and how it's suffocating. It really was beautiful, and I loved what they did, how they really were able to capture it in the eyes of their subjects.